So the downfall for this thing is clearly the freaking directions. The figure ain't bad. The figure's engineered pretty well. But the directions overly simplify stuff that's just not too simple. Okay, so here's the helicopter mode. Use a quick look at it from all directions there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll point the issues out, just so we can be upfront about everything. I don't want anyone trying to pretend like or act like I didn't give you all the details. All right, so you have weapon storage on either side of the cockpit or front of the helicopter here via that port, and there's a little tab right there, so you can just tab it on. And I kind of dig that. I like the way, because it doesn't look unrealistic. It doesn't look, well, as far as toys go, it doesn't look stupid or anything. You know, most times you get a figure and you have to port the weapon on top of the helicopter on the bottom or some crap that doesn't even make sense. Like you would never do that in real life, or even you would never do that. So, but that's not too bad. It's not anything that I would complain about. There are some issues I think with the rear portion, and that may be a part of the way I transformed it. I could be at fault. I don't think I'm at fault though. This portion here doesn't seem to tab very well as far as staying on there, but it's not coming apart. It's just a little gappy. The bottom of it is pretty well concealed as far as the robot goes. You've got the little rolling wheels there. You got a rolling wheel back here, so that works out pretty well. I mean, you're not really going to roll your helicopter, but his landing gear does work very well, and you can of course store the landing gear there. This one stays down, doesn't go anywhere. And then you got the rotating rear rotator, I guess, on the back here, as well as a stabilizer wing. And then you have the blades forming the helicopter, the swords forming the helicopter blades there. So the helicopter mode, so far to me is the best mode. I have the issue I have with the car mode. It's not big. I'm not really as hung up as a lot of you guys are, or a lot of people have been. But we'll get to that when we get to the car mode. Got some nice silver up here. I like a little bit of detail that's inside of these portions here from the arm bits there. Just some really nice line work there on the figure. It's actually it's really a good figure. It's not a bad figure at all. It's not a bad alt mode at all. I think I dig it. You take a look at the little vents there. You got some red right here. A lot of detail there along the sides. Some detail there. More of that silver there. Got a little screw there as a part of the transformation or a part of the figure. And you got some line work there. That's pretty nice. And these are all raised lines, so you can feel it's all textured. It's pretty cool. And then even here you got the rivet deals going all the way back. So the helicopter mode is pretty decent. Of all the modes, the vehicle mode is the one that took the most flack. It's been called the Oscar Mayer Wiener in many groups and forums. I'll have to say that holding it in hand, it's not quite as bad as the pictures. So let's just say the pictures don't do it any justice. Not that the vehicle mode itself does itself much justice anyways, but I'm just saying to be fair, right? You got some nice gray detail, some nice vent detailing here with the gray on the orange. Again, that silver stands out pretty well against the yellow, and then all the rivets and everything like that. The wheels aren't rubber, they're just regular plastic. Didn't expect them to be. This little deal here is one part that I don't necessarily like. I don't hate it. I just don't like it. I just don't. I don't really see the purpose in it. Well, I get it. Okay, so they wanted to try to maintain some of the dune buggy look out, I guess. So you got the little light things here or whatever, and they're fairly detailed. You got some nice grays there with a little bit of the mold work there. I would have preferred to have the option to sit this down. And with all the engineering that went into this thing, I'm pretty sure they actually could have done it because there's a lot. I've seen some people say that it's over-engineered or it's too it's just too much. It's a handful to transform. It is. It is a lot. It's not too much. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. The problem is that the directions oversimplify a transformation that is quite in depth. There's some work that goes into this transformation. So as far as weapon storage goes, you can flip this portion out, the handle that he would hold it for in robot form. There's a little hole there, and then there's a peg right here, and you can just put the pistol, laser pistol on there. Or you can go back to, you can take a key from the helicopter mode, flip that back down, take these deals here and plug them in on either side of the car mode, whatever makes you happy. I don't think I would put it on, period. I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't like weapons on my vehicles that aren't supposed to be on the vehicles. I don't like weapons that are really like the robots' weapons to be on the vehicle. I don't like that. Just taking a look at the actual vehicle here. What I like about this figure, what strikes me, what really strikes my fancy, if you will, is that everything is purposeful and everything has its place on here. If that makes any sense to you, like there's not like, okay, so you know how like with bad cube stuff, it pretty much, it's been said, bad cube stuff pretty much explodes and then comes back together in a different form. And there's things that are like overly technical on a bad cube transformation that really don't even have to be. In this case, I see why things are so technical. I see why things are engineered to be the way they are, and it makes sense. It serves a purpose. So I'm cool with that. There are some things that I don't like about the vehicle aesthetically. I'll give you that. I don't like these little rear view mirror deals here, but I like that they made them rear view mirrors. These also help cover up certain things in different alt modes. If you look at the box art, as a matter of fact, you can see where they are there. So, everything serves a purpose. It's not like, oh man, let's make something cool for this, but it doesn't fit there, It's not like that. So I like that. It was really well thought out, and you got to give them credit for that. These pieces here that come up like the headlights in the front, again, trying to give it some kind of a dune buggy look or a sand vehicle look or whatever. I'm sorry, you can't put them down because of the way they're angled or whatever the case is, but it's not so bad. It does open this area up, and that might not be something that you would like. So that's a decision you would have to make going in on this. I like the detail in here yet again. Like the line work going back across the chest. What was it, chest? The nice blue translucent plastic there, but it's not so clear that you can see inside and see there's nothing in there. Got a little door designs there, or whatever the case is. What's the vehicle supposed to be? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You have to just be honest with yourself and say they created a vehicle to make this deal fit. On the back, you got some silver here, but it's orange and then the yellow, and of course that red again with the gray. I like the way the colors. I like the way the colors are dispersed throughout the vehicle. The only thing is that, you look at the way the colors line up, and the first thing you think is Oscar Mayer Wiener. Not so much when you have it in hand as when you saw the pictures, right? But still, you do think it. But what are you going to do? Because he is orange and yellow with the black. So what are you going to do about that? You can't really do much. Here he is next to Warbotron's Swindle. And you can see, okay, obviously he's quite longer than Swindle. But as far as like just lining up and scaling, I think his vehicle mode kind of scales with them, because you don't really have a reference for what this vehicle. It's not the G1 vehicle. It is not. So you don't really have a reference of what this vehicle should be or should represent. So just looking at the cockpit size and everything, I think that cab size. I'm sorry. I think that it scales pretty well with this particular vehicle and this particular scale. Now I have Hot Rod over here. And then here he is next to MP Hot Rod. So I don't know, the scale thing is kind of funny. So many with these vehicles being in so many forms, in different shapes, but he's clearly quite larger than MP Hot Rod in robot mode. And to see his vehicle mode collapse down to this side, I think that's pretty cool. So I don't know. There you go. That's that. Do with it what you may. Do it what you will, because that's what it is. So as far as storage for the swords, you do have a number of options that you can go with. If you have the stomach for it, you can take the blade, You just kind of take it and tab it onto the hood of the vehicle, and then you have two blades that have been placed on the hood of the vehicle, and they're facing the same direction, which is kind of, I don't know. But again, if you have the strength for that, you can do that. You can also use this method, whereas you'll fold those blades up in the same way and tab them to the base of the vehicle or the helicopter rotor ports or whatever the case is. You'd have two going up here, and let's see if this will work, because it may not. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, maybe, because it's got a little bit of line. Okay, so yeah, why not? You could do that if that makes you happy. And you can store all of the weapons, all of the swords under there if you want to as well. And that's not too terribly bad because you're not really going to be looking at it. So it's cool. I mean, I don't think your vehicle would roll quite as well. But then I don't think you're going to be rolling this around anyways. And let's go further than that and say I don't think you're going to be actually displaying it in vehicle mode. So yeah, that is that. So yeah, vehicle mode. Okay, so let's get into this transformation. For anyone attempting this at home, go ahead and take your accessories, as in weapons, gun, all that crap. Go ahead and take it off. It's probably the easiest way to go about it. And we're going to follow this by the directions, but I'll just interject where the directions kind of skip out on this and leave us hanging. So first things first, I pop a freak saw the honey. No, I was playing. Turn his head around. Untab these hip parts here, and there's a tab piece there, and you can see the slot right there. And you're going to go ahead and lift these little pieces right here. Next, we're going to start taking shit apart. So you're going to want to disconnect it there. Disconnect this piece here, and then slide that portion out. So go ahead and extend this out. When you extend this out, go ahead and rotate that like so. And then here you have these little pieces that are tabbed in here. You're going to want to get a little tool, unless you have some nails, and kind of just untab those guys and pop them out. Now, another way to do it is to just kind of move this piece here, and it'll kind of come loose there. There you go. Rotate these out. And here, these pieces here, which I'll cover the sides, fold in, and they're really tight. But just fold those guys all the way in, and then once you accomplish that, you can actually take these pieces and fold them back into place. So something that the directions leave out is you have to go around to the front and untab these two chest pieces here. Now you can fold this portion out, and then you can tab those pieces back in, bring it back around. These two pieces here are on a swivel. Swivel them around all the way like that. Make sure they're straight, and then they're going to come in. They're going to come in together, but you don't want to collapse them just yet because you're going to be bringing this portion up to it. All right, so next thing you're going to do is take this piece and extend it all the way out like that. Okay, so it's going to fit in between those two pieces, and then you can see how this area is cut out just for this piece right here, right? And then at the top you can see here where there's little spaces there. And this right here is actually on the hinge as well. Just flip that up. Put everything in its place. And then tab everything together. And then this fits on securely. So now you're pretty much getting the back of the helicopter together. At this point you can go ahead and retab these pieces here, which secures the back of the helicopter. Okay, so with these pieces rotated around and extended like that, all right, you're gonna get it flush here with this black tab. All right, Very important. This piece here should already be closed. If not, go ahead and close that piece. All right. Untab this shoulder here. What you're going to do is rotate that shoulder bit around like that on both sides, and then you'll see a tab here that kind of resembles the same tabbing there. Okay. Now, before you push it up, the best thing you could do is go ahead and take that shoulder and rotate it down. You see the curve there? Rotate it down and then tab it. That way you don't have any problem with the shoulder bumping into that piece there. All right. Now, this is something they don't cover in the instructions because they make it seem like it's just automatically done, and it's not automatically done, right? Take this bit of the forearm, fold it at the elbow, and then slide it back. And what you're going to get is this this forearm is going to go flush with that piece there. So make sure that elbow is facing you, and make sure this studded portion here, or this riveted portion here of the forearm is facing out. And yet again, you're going to rotate it up and then slide it all the way in. And that's the back of the helicopter kind of coming together. Okay, so start at the back here. You know you're in the back because you got this yellow bit facing you, and you also got this bit right here facing you, okay? So you're in the back of the leg. Go ahead and untab that. You got a tab here and a hole here. Remember this bit here because you're going to deal with this when it comes to the car transformation. All right. Same thing on this side here. And you can see just a little bit of orange here. That's coming from this piece right here that I discussed earlier. So what you're going to do is rotate these pieces out. This piece can get kind of tricky because of the hinging here, as well as the pin where it kind of rotates. So just do as best as you can, right? So bring it up, and what I do is flip it around. And here you can see there are a good number of hinges. There's a hinge here, there's a hinge there, and then it's on a swivel there. So it's got a lot of moving that it can do. Go ahead and extend that all the way up, and that gives you a great amount of space to move around this piece. They don't really cover that in the instructions, but you really got to know that part because it's really imperative to the transformation. And it looks like this guy's having a seizure, but he's not. Trust me, it's just all a part of the work, right? Another thing you want to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead and rotate the wheel up. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Brave, we're transforming into a helicopter. Why don't we rotate the wheel up? Because the wheel is going to hide inside of the cockpit of the helicopter. Okay, so while you have this piece standing up and out of the way, you're going to rotate this guy this way. Yeah, oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah, just like that, right? And and by far the helicopter transformation is the easier of the two. Okay, so we're going to take this piece here, which is going to form a side of the cockpit, rotate that out, take this piece here, rotate that up, and then take this piece and slide it into place. And that's going to give you this look here. All right, once you accomplish that, you'll see you have a few tabs here, and corresponding or correlating slots there and there. Bring it all together, homie. Bring it all together. There you go. And that forms the front of the bird. Okay, when you're doing that, you're rocking back on this piece here and this piece here and rotating that part forward. Try and get as familiar as you can with this apparatus, because this is what's going to tear you up when you're trying to get to the car mode later. Okay, that's that. And then you're going to do the same thing on this leg. Okay, so at this point you got both legs done. You got this crap opened up. The next deal here is you have two choices. All right, you can go ahead and bring these together and tab them, or you can rotate these back one by one to bring the helicopter together. I personally prefer to go ahead and bring them together because it gives it a little more stabilization when you are joining the legs and when you are bringing the front and rear half of the helicopter together. So, okay, so at this point I want to point something out. At this stage I want to point something out. You see where we are, you see how much further we have to go, right? At this point, the directions totally abandon you. And they act as if you just know to do the things I'm getting ready to show you. So, yeah, your directions have forsaken you at this point. There may be a few steps they do show you, but it's not worthy of credit, right? Okay. So, let's do this thing, girl. All right, so first things first, to make it easy. This piece is on a hinge. Flip that hinge out. It rotates. Rotate it around like this so the vent is forward. All right, we're going to take this piece here in the rear of it. See, it's on a hinge and a swivel there, right? It's on a lot of hinges and swivels, right? Take that piece, fold it up here first, and then fold it up again. Take this piece here, fold that up, and then you're going to fold it down. And this piece here is going to tab into there. Oh no! And for those who didn't really see it, I'm going to do it again on this side here. And I'm going to show you a different variation of doing that. It's a little bit easier. Extend that piece there. Take this piece here, fold it on top, and then fold it inward. And then that'll allow you to tab that little yellow piece again. All right? Now here comes for the money. Here comes the money. All right, we're going to take this whole assembly and we're going to collapse it, right? But this portion has to go inside of here. These have to go over the legs. So here's what you want to do. Bring this portion down. This top portion right here, you want to bring that down. Just like that, right? So now it's out of your way, right? Then you're going to just take this piece here, just like it is. Just like it is. And you're going to rotate it all inside. Just like that. Push the other side to make sure you got it going good. And yes, this is a little problematic, but you got it. Just work it on in. Just work it on in. All right, now these tabs here are hooks, basically. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they go in and then they go out back and then they go in, right? So they can tab into back here. All right, so just kind of work them in as best you can. Boom. Now your helicopter's coming together, baby. And this portion right here is going to extend and tab in at the top up here. And it's a tight fit. And as you can see, like I said earlier, once you get all of that together and you bring it all together, that's when the tightness happens. That's when the tightness occurs. That's when she gets tight. Now, once you got all this secured as best you can, this is when you're going to take this portion here. And you see that tab there, there's a slot hole right there, or a peg hole right there. And you're just going to work it in. Just like that. And do the same thing on the other side there. And yeah, it's going to mess you a little bit, but do what you got to do. Get it on in. There you go. Alrighty. Look at that bird. That bird's just coming together really nicely. Make sure everything is together, nothing came apart in the midst of your transformation. I'm betting a lot came apart in the midst of your transformation. I'm just betting. Oh, just to clarify, when you look at front and back, this is what you want. These pieces should be sat on top of the forearm pieces here, right? There you go. And everything is together. All right, so finally, you're going to come under here, take these pieces here, untab them, and rotate them out. There you go. Rotate them forward. You got a tab, you got a slot. There you go. And there you go. And now you got your landing gear that you can just rotate that out like a that. Rotate that out like a that. And if you can't tell, we've got some Into the Realm, the ROC, ain't nothing to fuck with playing in the background. Shout out to the ROC, Into the Realm guys. All right, there we go. Now everything is secured, everything is in place. Landing gear is down. Everyone is happy, everyone is pleased. And from this point, the last thing you're gonna do is first make sure everything is secured, nice and good. Yeah, secured, nice and good. Come to the back here, extend out the stabilizer wing. This should already be out because you had it out for robot mode. There you go. These portions here, I must be honest there, fellow collectors on mines, these portions here kind of suck balls. I'm just being straight up with you. They kind of suck balls. Sometimes they come loose. But there you go. All right, so take your little helicopter rotor things there. You square them away. You straighten them out. And then you go ahead and you apply your helicopter blades in any form or fashion that you so choose. Okay, so with all that done, take your weapon and place it, and you got your helicopter. From there, you're going to car mode, and let me tell you right now, car mode is a biatch. Go ahead, take a break, get you some water, smoke a cigarette. If you're on the douche flute, go and take a hit and emit some fake smoke. Come back, and we'll get into this car mode.